Hi, today's video is going to be how to make beautiful snowflakes with nothing more than copy paper, scissors, and maybe a pencil. Don't even have to have that. So the first thing you need to do is take a regular size piece of copy paper, 8.5 by 11, and cut it so that you have an 8.5 inch square piece of paper. Once you have a square piece of paper, and it could be any size, it's just easy for me with my students to have 8.5. You're going to turn it on a diagonal to have a diamond. You're going to bring the top corner to the bottom corner, match it up. I always tell my students to hold it really tight at the bottom, slide across, press down really hard, and you're going to press and press, and you're going to get a nice, neat fold. Okay? Then you have a big triangle. Now the hardest part is that the kids always want to pick up everything. Have them leave it on the table, and we're going to take the two corners that are on the long side, and we're going to match those together, lining them up, holding them down, and creasing on this side. Nice firm crease. Then you're going to turn this way. So now we've got a pyramid. This time we are going to just crease the top where the point is. We're not going to do a complete fold, but we do still want to match up the corners across the bottom part. Okay, so I'm going to hold the middle. I'm going to match up my bottom corners on the long straight side, and I'm going to press just the very top where the point is. I want to make sure I know where the middle point is. I'm not going to press all the way down. So I'm going to press down really good here, and then I'm going to open it back up, and you'll see the line that marks the halfway point. So this is important because when we do the next fold, we're going to go past that point, but we still need that extreme point up there. So this is the tricky part, and it takes a little playing with. I put my fingernail right there on the point. This side is going to fold down. We want to try and eyeball a third of the way across, making sure I have a point up there, and then crease down here. And it forms kind of a Star Trek looking thing at the bottom here. Even my kids in elementary school understand that that's a Star Trek looking symbol. Now the idea is for this side to fold completely over here, match this side, but not overlap here. So if you can take both of these pieces, make sure there's a point up there and it doesn't overlap. And see, that overlaps a little bit. So I'm going to take it, and because it overlapped a little bit, that means this needs to come in some. I'm going to make it come in a little bit without losing my point. Refold it. That might have been too much. Yep. See, so it takes a little bit. Now with my younger kids, I will go ahead and have some already folded up for them. And then the ones that want to learn how to fold, I'll teach them. But it's up to you how you want to do it. Okay. So once you get it folded and everything's matching up, you want to take your scissors, and there's a straight line that goes across from where we folded. You want to take your scissors and you want to cut off those points that we made. And that's trash. Okay? So now you end up with a folded triangle, and we're not going to unfold it until the very end. Now I encourage my kids to draw their shapes and designs because it's real important for them to understand what they need to cut. Every cut needs to come from the side or from the bottom, and if it comes on one side, then it needs to go off that same side. It cannot go all the way across because then you just cut that part of the triangle off. And if you've got another one coming from the other side, you don't want to get them too close together, because if you have a really thin part, your snowflake might break right there. You also don't want to leave a straight line here, because this is going to be the outer edge of the snowflake. So you want to make sure that's has an interesting pattern to it as well. And then I just tell them to, you know, just make a few to start with, and then as they get comfortable, they can get more intricate. I always like to cut the point off in some form or fashion once they get it drawn. They need to get a good pair of scissors, and they need to understand that when they're cutting, they cannot use the tip of the scissors. It will not cut all the way through, and it will just cause heartache. You have to open those scissors up, and for some reason kids like to do the scissors like this, and I've had to train them that they need to be turning the paper instead of the scissors. So try to tell them, you open the scissors all the way up, put the paper in, and use that hand as you're closing the scissors just a little bit to guide your cutting. And you're cutting through all those layers. So it takes a little bit, and you have to hold all those papers together. And if you don't cut right on the line, that's okay. That can be the back of your snowflake. So many kids want to just close the scissors all the way. They need to understand that it's just small little snips will get you through. And it's kind of like how you drive the scissors. Okay, once you get all that cut away, you very carefully reopen. Sometimes kids get here and go, oh, that looks cool. But remind them that they should have a circle. And then if you want, you can decorate them with glue and glitter, but I just like cutting a whole bunch, and we're gonna use these in January in the hall as winter decoration. All right. Thanks for tuning in.